Hi guys, this is Whitney from the blog Tried and True Mom Jobs. And for those of you who don't know, I get 100,000 pages per month for Pinterest, and I love Pinterest. It's a great way to get traffic to my website. But recently, they've had this big new Pinterest update. They had this algorithm change that has severely affected my traffic and my Pinterest strategy. And as you can see, I don't do too bad on Pinterest. I get 1.5 million monthly viewers. Now, this number does not mean that's how many people I get to my website. It just means that that's how far my that's how many people are seeing my pins. But with this new update, it's just completely changing my whole strategy because the things that I was doing before is not working anymore because they changed the way you to in order to do well on Pinterest, they've changed the way that I have to use my strategy. So for those of you who've read my blog post on how I get traffic from Pinterest, I devote a lot of my success to Carly Campbell's ebook Pinteresting Strategies. Now, just by going through her tips and strategies, I've been able to do very well on Pinterest. And since Pinterest has recently had this huge update that's completely gonna change my whole strategy, thank God Carly Campbell updated her ebook with the new uh, changes to how you should pin on Pinterest and how you should create your boards and things like that. So I did a video on how to create your boards and how to name them, but I had to completely scrap that video because this new update with Pinterest, it had made my video irrelevant. So I'm doing a new video because I promised that I was going to do a video on how to create boards, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. But I also want to say if you want to do well, I'm completely changing my strategy and I'm going to use everything that's in Carly Campbell's book. So you want to be able to purchase her ebook to follow the same kind of strategy that I'm doing. And I'm gonna put her the link to her ebook in the description in this video because it's something that I highly recommend doing because I know well, for example, let me give you the example. In her blogging group, Blogging Like We Mean It, I highly recommend joining this Facebook group because it has been so key to my success too, because there's so much great free information on how you can do well on Pinterest. And the Savvy couple just wrote in her Facebook group how she's been so awesome, especially with the new algorithm update from her ebook. They changed their strategy and they're now at 2.6 million monthly viewers. So this is definitely something that I'm trying to achieve, and by following Carly's methods, they've been able to achieve this with the new Pinterest update. And my measly 1.5 million is just not cutting it here. And especially as a new Pinterest user trying to get traffic to your website, you want to do things the right way. So this is something that I suggest you invest in because it's going to be well worth your money. And because Pinterest is always changing, always, always. And you got to stay up on top of your game if you want to continue to do well. And with Carly's ebook, she's always updating it with every new Pinterest update. So you're going to always stay on top of your game if you have her ebook at least handy to know what to do with these Pinterest updates because they change so often. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, let's go ahead to let me show you how to create your boards. So when you want to create a board, you're going to go first to your profile. Or you know what, I'm on there now, but I'm going to just show you how to do it. So profile, which I'm already here. And then you're going to go to boards. I'm going to talk about how important naming your boards are because that's everything, especially as a new blogger. You want to be able to create strong boards that Pinterest understands what they are. Now we're on my account, as you know, and before we even go here to create boards, you need to know how to name your board in order for Pinterest to understand what your board is about. So I'm going to show you an example. Depending on what you blog about, I'm going to go to pinterest.com/categories. Now what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to find how to name my board or what I should name my board that aligns with what Pinterest has already identified as a segment or a segment that they have already created. So I'm going to show you an example. So I also read about family things. So kids and parenting. Let's see what's on here. So kids and parenting. So if I'm looking for topics in this category, I want to scroll down to the very bottom because I can write about different things in kids and parenting. So I see these are the topics, and I'm going to talk to you about that, what this is in a minute. So parenting, let's just say parenting is one of the things that I want to talk about. So do you see this here? It says 23 million people are following this topic called parenting. So if I name my board parenting and I keyword it in the right ways, all these people potentially will see my pins that I pin to that board parenting. That's why it's so important to name your boards the right way because you're going to already get this audience no matter how many followers you already have starting out. So that's why it's so important to name your boards according to what Pinterest has already identified as a topic because people have followed this topic. So if I press follow here, I'm going to get information on parenting from other bloggers. And what I love too about this, you don't see this very often because they took away the repin rate. But on when in this screen here, you can actually see that this pin right here, which is amazing, got 32.8 thousand repins. So that means that many people have seen this pin and have pinned it to their boards. And that's an indication to you too that these are probably really good pin ideas for you. Now, obviously, this is more kid driven, but like just this pin right here, obviously some people love this stuff. DIY puffy sidewalk paint, and that's 18,000 repins just for this pin right here. That's not bad at all. So this is a cool way to see what the repin rate is for these. And this one right here has 38.5 thousand and it says edible pudding slime. And I don't even think this is a great pin, but obviously if someone's looking for this and they see this pin, they're gonna click on it so they can figure out how to make edible pudding slime. So this is an example of just first finding out how to name your boards. This shows you some good ideas of what pins have done well in this in this category. And this is what you should name your boards. So that's an example of finding out how to name your boards. And through Carly's new ebook, she also showed me a new way that I'm going to share with you guys on how you can find out other um, all the topics that Pinterest has. There's just a neat little tip that I'll show you. I have to log out really quick. You have to log out to see this view. But if you log out and you just go to the Pinterest website and you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see that it has topics right here. And I would have never have known this if I had never purchased her ebook. So this gives you all of the topics that Pinterest has identified as what you can call your boards or what you should call your boards. So and if you scroll down here, it's like 1 through 37 and they go through, they're in alphabetical order. So if you just want to just see I always do the control F if I were looking for something in the W's or V's that I was hoping could be a topic that other people have, or so if since I'm in the business niche, I'll put like writing. Is writing something on here? And I see that they say writing workshops, writing quotes, writing process, writing lessons. Now this would not be anything relevant to what I would um call any of my boards, so this is just irrelevant to me, but it's just nice to know that um they don't have anything regards to a board name that I would want for this. So that's just an example of how that could work. And so that's another way to find topics. And then so now that we know what we want to call our board, which is just parenting, you can follow that also if you want to, because you want to stay in the know of what is going on in this niche right here. If this is something that if this is the category that you write about. So let's go ahead and create a board. So then we're going to go to boards. And I'm going to go to create a board. We are going to call this board parenting because we want to align our board name parenting with the topics that all those people are following already. And then just ignore this part right here. It says select start date. You can just ignore that. You don't want to keep this board secret. It's going to be a public board so you can start getting traffic to your website. So then it's going to say save some pins to your new board. So just so you know, when you're creating a new board, these are called third-party pins. These are someone else's pins that you want to pin to your board because you want Pinterest to know what this board is about. You want to create an established board so when you start pinning your pins to this board, Pinterest will know that it should fit that category and it should show that pin to all those people that are following the topic parenting. So what you want to do is I only pin pins that catch my attention that I think are good quality pins. So if you see any here that gets your attention, so you could go ahead and save this one. It's kind of nice. This is pretty cute. And so I'm not going to go ahead and do this right now, but you want to save 30 to 40 pins into your board before you even start pinning your own pins to them. And another tip that I want to give you, so you want to make sure that you go to edit your board to add more keywords. So we're going to go here, go to edit, and do not care. Board covers do not matter. Don't even worry about this. Don't even waste your time trying to make fancy board covers. Now you're gonna put in your description. Now, when I find out I'm just gonna add more keywords to this. So I'm gonna open another Pinterest window and go back to Pinterest. I'm trying to figure out what keywords has Pinterest identified that should go under the parenting category. So I'm gonna put parenting in here. I'm going to fill my board with these keywords that Pinterest has already identified that people are using, typically use, that make sense to what I'm going to write about. So this only put these keywords if they make sense for you and your board. So for example, parenting hacks. That's a good one. So I'm going to go back here and put parenting hacks, comma, and then go back here. And then I see nothing, baby nonsense. No, I don't want to write about that. Positive parenting. So you kind of put these in order. So kids and parenting. So it's probably kids and parenting. So you have to say it the right way. So positive parenting, that might be a good one. Because people who are searching for these keywords, if I had a board like I'm creating right now, and I have it these keywords positive parenting, and if it's related to positive parenting that I'm pinning to my parenting board, they should show up here. And this is where you want to end up because Pinterest is a search engine. People are always searching for things on Pinterest, and you want to end up, especially at the top of this stuff here, but it's all dependent on if you're using the right keywords for your pins and for your board. So this is just an example of what I would be using, and you can drill down more to this positive parenting toddlers. Only do what's relevant to what you're going to be pinning to this board and what you're going to be writing about. And so this, I can go on and on about this. I'm just going to put only relevant keywords here that Pinterest has already identified as popular keywords for that topic. Now, what category is, you saw that I went to kids and parenting, so I'm telling Pinterest what this is all about. Don't worry about dates. Don't worry about collaborators. These are your personal boards that you're creating for your account, and you don't want to keep it secret. You want to add personalization because you want to see what other people that shows up in your home feed are pinning related to parenting because it will help give you ideas on what other people are doing in this niche. So you press done, and there is your board. So you have you can see the keywords that you put here. And so you want to have, when you're starting out, you want to be very niche specific. You want to be specific on what you're talking about and just have create these strong boards. And Carly goes more in depth about this, but basically that's how you create your board. And In regards to how many pins you have for each board before you even start pinning your pins. So you want to have 30 to 40 of these pins of other people's pins in your board before you even go ahead and do that. And then as far as my new Pinterest strategy, once again, I'm going to start creating 3 to 5 new pins every day. Or I'm going to pin 3 to 5 fresh pins every day. And Carly in her ebook has a great example on how to easily manipulate pins you've already created and put them on Pinterest, because Pinterest is a visual platform. So they remember, so for example, this pin right here, if you slightly just change this background for talk back to like pink or something like that, Pinterest will see this as a new pin. And so you can have multiple pins that are very similar, but you want to change them up again, because Pinterest is always asking for new, fresh content. But it's a lot on us as creators to create a lot of new pins that are completely different. And we don't have to do that. So Carly really talks about how we can easily manipulate pins that we've already created and use them as new pins. Because with Pinterest, you have to create a ton of pins in order to do well. You want to pin new, fresh pins every day, and she talks about this all in her ebook. Can't give it all away, but yeah. So you really want to work on your Pinterest strategy. So now I've shown you how to create your business account, create good clickable pins, and now you know how to create boards. And now you have to go in and create your strategy on how often you're creating pins, um and pinning to your boards. And this is how you get traffic to your website. And this is how I'm going to start getting traffic to my website, by using this new strategy with this new update for Pinterest, using Carly Campbell's new strategy. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, just let me know. And if you don't have the money right now to purchase her ebook, join her Facebook group, Blogging Like We Mean It. Let me see it up here. This is how you spell it up here. Blogging like We Mean It. It's a private group, but she accepts pretty much everybody. And you can just, what I did before I even purchased her ebook, I was just reading through the thread and just kind of seeing what people were saying and asking questions. I asked tons of questions in here, and it just led me to just saying, okay, I'm going to bite the bullet and purchase her ebook, because I just need to get this stuff, and I need it in a step-by-step way that makes sense to me. And she really breaks it down, especially for new beginners. So I highly recommend just joining her Facebook group too if you're on the fence about purchasing her ebook. But it's compared to the prices out there for other courses on Pinterest, that $57 is dirt cheap, and she's definitely undercharging. So once again, I hope this video was helpful on how to create your boards. Now this is the great way to figure out what your Pinterest strategy is through her ebook. And if you have any questions on anything, just let me know, and I'm going to keep you updated on my progress using her new strategy. And you'll see my numbers as well, to see if they're doing any better. So I hope this was helpful. Once again, if you want to continue to learn from me on how I do blogging and how I write my articles and make money blogging, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button, thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And also leave me a comment in the comment section, because I'd love to hear from you and where you are in your blogging journey. Thank you. Have a good day.